So this will be notes number 11, and this is going to be rounding decimals. And I know it seems like we shouldn't have to review this, but I know it's something that we all need a little bit more practice at, so that's what we're doing. So rounding is simply a process of estimating the next nearest amount, which depends on which place you are rounding to. Okay. And it's something that you guys learned in elementary school, but still people struggle with it. And so we're just going to try and give you an easy way to remember what you're doing and what you're not. So at what age do most kids go to kindergarten? What age do you start kindergarten? Most people. 5. 5 is the typical age. Okay. So the way I think about it is any number that's 4 or less, right? You're not old enough to go to kindergarten yet. Some kids start kindergarten at 4, some do, but typical is 5, right? 4 or less, you round down. 5 or greater, you round up. Okay? So let's say I gave you, let's just start with whole numbers, make it easy. And I gave you 7/16 round to the nearest tens. I guess I could write that out. Okay. So what you have to really think about, what are the tens that 7/16 sits in between? Well, it's between 7/10 and 7/20. Right? So let's just figure out which one's closer. So from 7/10 to 7/16, what is that? 7/16 minus 7/10, Allison, what's that? 6. Right? But from 7/20 to 7/16, what's that difference? Only 4, right? So it is much closer to estimate to 7/20 than it is to 7/10. Okay, so let's say we have 314.3247, and I want you to round that to the nearest thousands. Brittany. So look, first of all, let's figure out where our thousands is. Which number represents our thousands space? The 4, right? So we're going right here. So all you need to do now is which number am I going to decide where I'm going or not? Whether I'm rounding up or rounding down, which number am I going to look at, Britt? Does a 2 make any difference? No. Really, once you decide where you're going, you're really ignoring all the rest of this. You only have to look at the digit right, directly to the right. Okay? So, and think about what that means. Is 47 closer to 40 or 50? Which is it closer to? It's closer to 50, right? So then we would round that to 314.3 And actually, can't I also write it, because this will help when we're doing comparing decimals, can I write that decimal like that too? Does that mean the same thing? And you just told me it's closer to 50, right? You can write it as 50. That's totally fine. It does not change the value of it at all. Okay? All right, let's do one more. Let's do a big one. Why not? There's a good one. Marisol, that was a good face right there. I wish I had that on the recording. All right, Marisol, which space do we want to round it to? Pick one. Huh? The 5? Okay, so what's now? What place is that? The 100. Is it? Yeah, you're right. Okay, so round to the nearest hundreds. I want everybody to try that right now. So what's the only number we have to look at? Jace, what's the only number we have to use to decide where we're going? The 5 and the 6, right? All of this is irrelevant, except those two numbers right there. Okay? So is 6 5 or greater or less than 5? So is, what you're asking yourself, right, is 56 closer to 60 or closer to 50? 60. So that's going to change to 1, 2, 3, 4, now 6. Everything else becomes a 0. Everything else becomes a 0. Okay. To the right of the decimal, you do not have to write the zeros. To the left of the decimal, you definitely have to write the zeros. That's a good question. Any decimals that you add to the right of, any zeros that you add to the right of the decimal, don't do anything. But what would happen if I left off those two zeros right there? Do we have the same number? Not even close, right? There we've got 1,234,600. Here we only have 12,346 because we just divided it by 100 essentially. So to the left of the decimal, they're important. To the right of the decimal, they can be there, but they're not changing anything whether they're there or not.